Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today as we see the Sunday friend for the last time, I think. Let's see what we have over here, because we got a couple of things that we haven't interacted with, and also, we'll see what happens. Oh. A party dragon silk robe that I can just take? It's a pretty powerful item. Electrochemistry and drama. Our health goes down. Actually, that's perfectly acceptable. What exactly am I? Oh, physical instrument instead of logic. Let's just go with logic for right now. And this is for suggestion. Oh, I see. Well, I don't even. What am I supposed to take from this? I just now looked at the party dragon silk robe. Sure. I mean, we get all the logic with that, which is fine, I suppose. Yeah, that's what we got out of that. He doesn't comment on it, and we have ourselves another logic thing, a Samaran conical hat. That gives you logic, but does decrease your suggestion, which is a skill. I don't want to go there. I want to go here. What is our current head right now? For our reaction speed. Look at that, +3 logic. That is great, actually. I'll just keep all the things in one spot. Let's try to buff our logic up a little bit, maybe. We have our drama tank top, which might be relevant, because if we have other things that give us drama, like, for example, this one. Although the tank top probably is a shirt rather than the jacket. In electrochemistry, but no logic. That's all of our logic. We have all the logic in the world. Because we're dressed like a Samaran, I suppose. Logical.
You have acquired the hat. Keep it, officer. It looks good on you.
The tone somehow suggests to you that you're starting to become a little sponsored by him as well, says our suggestion. I'm starting to become a little sponsored by him? What kind of is that even? How are you? What are you? How do you start to become a little sponsored? I can't even. Well, I guess we're off. Never to see him again. That was a very interesting conversation. But probably the best character so far, the most interesting character so far. The best character, of course, being Kim, but, you know, we know that. Kim?
Yes?
Nothing. What do we have to, things to do? Sing at karaoke. We lost a bunch of things over here, didn't we? I mean, we have spent the day trying to get our tasks done, so I suppose it makes some sense. So getting the hangman's boots, that's not gonna be a thing. Once you're done with it, send the corpse to processing. I do have a new skill point. Get the whole story from Titus. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see how I can get out of here, actually. So this is the other way. Yeah. And the best way, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter which way I take. This one is a good enough way. Actually, no. Let's look at our map and look at our white checks that we haven't done. Pile of clothes. Oh, it shows over there. Huh. I don't know why they show up like white. Does it mean that it's just the cafeteria window? Yeah, that's one of them for sure. This one we haven't passed, which means this might be, what is that? These are found white checks. Those on white are available to try right now. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. So you can't. These are gone forever. And I found them, but I can't do them anymore. So the Hanged Man legendary. Yeah, that's why... That's a little bit of perception. It's a very It's very high perception, but we do have a little bit of perception. Let's look at it. Yeah, we can go up on perception again, so let's get out of here. Let's try and check the Hanged Man. We might need to go downstairs again, which is a bit of a problem. Because we can't go in there. When I said a bit of a problem, I didn't mean that I didn't know exactly why. I don't think I can do anything with this. Yeah, you just can't go in there. What a weird situation. Why is it marked as available if it isn't? Can I do anything with this? Visual calculus, it's locked. So that's one I can do for sure. I suppose I could try it again. Especially now that we have a little bit better understanding. Or a little bit more items, I should say. It might be here. It probably is. Oh, freaking... Nope, it's good. Yeah, the Hanged Man is basically out of... It's not here. And Kuno definitely doesn't have anything for us. Kuno doesn't even talk right now. Oh, he does. He's really upset as usual. That's just his normal self. Let's go inside. It is late. We're gonna spend a little time out here and whatnot, but it is late, and we definitely have one check in here. We'll see how things work. Hopefully, I'll be able. Nah, probably won't be able to do it without leveling up, but I wish I could. Oh. You have the lights on? Huh.
Can I help you?
No, I don't think you can. And now the kitchen doesn't have anything back here. What is that? Just money? I'll take it. Don't mind if I do. And this one, I can't do anything. Huh. Okay, so that window... Maybe the check is done now, because there was one.
It's you again.
That one right there.
What is it?
Oh, it wasn't. It isn't that one. I can just level my rhetoric up. I found someone who saw the hanging, a witness. Let's not say that right now. Let's try. Oh, dang it.
It's you again.
I just realized.
What is it?
Yeah, rhetoric. I realize I need the specific. First off, I need to level my specific skill of rhetoric, but I also need to. To make sure I have all the equipment that I have available. Not that I think I have any rhetoric equipped pants or anything like that. Oh, there's a minus rhetoric for our hat. I guess that's that. Yep. Okay, so here goes. I keep forgetting. There's so many skills. Hi.
It's you again.
It is.
What is it?
Rhetoric. That's the one. Keep thinking of manipulation and something. So that would be intellect, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna go up on rhetoric up a little bit, and just to get that. Oh, can I level up again? I can. Oh, that's great. I might be able to increase our visual calculus and see what happens.
What is it?
A 42. You know what? This is the perfect opportunity for us to actually increase rhetoric again, and screw the visual calculus outside. Because from 42, it's gonna go to 50 something.
Again.
Yeah, 58.
What is it?
It is an enormous jump right at the middle of the dice throw, because it's 2d6s. So it's always something very important to remember with these throws. It's just that the middle ground, like a single point will do. This is the single point that is worth the most, is this one between 42 and 58. So yeah, I'm gonna convince Titus that he's being manipulated. I succeeded. I think I would have succeeded with the previous check as well, because I rolled a 6. So if I roll the 6, nah, let's not think of maths now. Our rhetoric says, convince Titus is being manipulated. Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now. Titus will never falter. Says our rhetoric. Oh. One of his boys will, I'm gonna say. Just remember, it's about more than Clash. Or Clash. It's about these men in Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Well, that's it then. Case closed. I'm gonna look around. We're going home, Kim. I have to say this, and I don't know what this is meant to say. Huh? The lieutenant raises his brow. He'll get it. Go on, says our rhetoric. Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you. Got it. He takes his notebook out. Kill you because they don't like you. All because... well, let's see. So, not bringing Clash up. That's pretty important. Just remember it's about more than Clash. It's about these men. Yeah. That's pretty important. Because you work for the wrong people. Because you're a foreigner. Because of some chick. Because you work for the wrong people. Actually, no, it isn't. It isn't. I can't say because of the man or something. So maybe this is... I don't know if this is I don't know if this matters, this choice over here. First off, I'm gonna take it as if it does matter, because it probably does. But it could be just a flavor for whatever success I did already on our rhetoric. But the point is, maybe it is about us figuring really the reason why they're being manipulated. And of course, being sarcastic about it. There's a lot of meta going on. So they are taking the fall, most likely working for the Union. So the Union set them up to kill him, but they are being manipulated nonetheless, which is a weird set of circumstances. We still don't have access to all the information, so it's just, let's just roll with it for a while. But why would the Union want that person killed, but it being somehow dishonorable or anything like that? Because he was the worst. So, well, I guess as far as we can tell, I'm not really sure why they would be manipulated. They would be being manipulated. As for a foreigner, though, I don't think it is about being a foreigner, or about him being a foreigner. This is the closest. I definitely am not gonna say that it might be about Clash. Let's say because you work for the wrong people. Goddamn right, this is Union Town, says Shanky. You work for the company, we will kill you. Fuck Dennis, says Eugene. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor works for the company. Dennis might have just gone on with, you know, he's just agreeing with me because he sees this situation as him and his team being victorious, and he's just like, fuck yeah. And Eugene was like, yeah, I think that's the tone here. Kim writes down, work for the wrong company, and they execute you. We keep having options here, but yeah. They just hang you like in the Dark Ages, make a display of your corpse, they club you from behind, string you up, and go back to drinking. Ooh. That might have been what happened. If there were no sounds or anything. Let's say this. It might be what happened. They club you from behind, string you up, and go back to drinking. It wasn't that. It wasn't, the fat man says with a wheeze. We didn't hit him, okay? That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the... And our rhetoric doesn't have time to finish that. Because Theo cuts in. Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up. The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm. He's on to you. He knows what you're trying to do. Okay, so we have Theo and we have Angus. Or, excuse me, Fat. Fat is his name. Angus is his surname. I'm kidding. It's just he's Fat Angus. That's the name that our brain gives him. Or what, you're going to kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason. If I turn to Angus, I would do that. That is interesting. That is an interesting pressure point, because it's obvious that they didn't kill him for no reason. But it is me trying to pull the reason out of him. So I don't know what Theo is going to do about that. What happens if I keep talking? You're going to kill me too in this bar for nothing? I can look at Kim first. Let's do that. The lieutenant has put his notebook down. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod. What? Says our rhetoric. What does that mean? Yes. Come on in, Esprit de Corps. There's the one. Go for it. The lieutenant has his eyes set on the fat guy. Push Angus. We're almost there. I wasn't gonna do that, actually. I was gonna do this one. I'm gonna turn to Angus. Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him? For no fucking reason? We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when... He takes a breath, wheezing. Oh. I suppose that also explains... No, it doesn't. Actually, no. He couldn't have been dead. I mean, he could. The writers can write anything they want. Literally, it's fine. But if you hang a dead person, you don't get bleeding around the you don't get bleeding, basically, around the rope. Because bleeding is caused by the heart pumping. So, you know, that's one of the ways for you to detect if somebody, for example... I think it's if you drown... There's bleeding in the eyes or something. There's micro capillary veins in the eyes that burst if you are drowning or suffocating. Then that's one way. I think there's another one for drowning in specific. Is basically water in the lungs, because if you're not breathing, you're not gonna get water in the lungs. But that's, you know, there's a lot of ways to do an autopsy for you to realize what the cause of death was, and we determined already that the cause of death was the hanging. So for him, he must be lying. However, this game does some what I believe are mistakes in things here and there, like details. And some of them I'm wrong, like that time about the ceramic boots that I was talking about before. Like, I was wrong about that. And other stuff I didn't look up, so maybe I was wrong about that as well. But I have no reason to believe he's lying here. That's the problem. That's why I think the writers just didn't really care to look into... Well, I guess I didn't look into if you bleed or not when you're hanged as a dead person. But I do remember hearing about that in, like, cop shows. You know, what have I watched? A little bit of CSI, Bones. I did watch that. I also watched. That was a cop show, but it wasn't the Shield. The Shield, I think it's called. It's a cop show, but it's not the same. It's not procedurally. You know, it's not crime scene investigation, is what I mean. Anyway. But yeah, that's where my knowledge comes from, really. And so it isn't really knowledge. It's just I might be wrong on that, but because you know how movies and TV series are. They still use defibrillators to bring a person back to life. That's not what they're used for. They're just meant to reset the heartbeat. I think. Is that how it is? Yeah. So basically, if you are arrhythmic, which means no rhythm, you reset the heartbeat to try and, you know, make sure the heart knows what the freaking hell it's doing. And some people have to have defibrillators in their body for you know, to make sure that the heart keeps beating properly. I think I know somebody who has that, because I've seen one person. I don't know if I know them. That's the thing. I've seen one person in person who has like a lump in one of their shoulders because they have a defibrillator in there, and the battery needs to be, you know, recharged or switched out every few years or something. But I don't remember who they are. I think they're a family member, but like distant. Anyway, there's people with things like that. And, you know, then TV series just pretend that defibrillators are meant to, you know, you're died. Oh, no problem. Clear. And the person just, like, spasms like nobody ever does, because that's not a thing. But anyway, so all that to say that don't take, or rather, do take all I say with a grain of salt, because I'm not a certified crime scene investigator. Elizabeth cuts in. Shut up, Angus, she says. He was dead before you hanged him? I'm gonna ask. Fatty, Shanky says. The little guy hits Angus on the back of the head. A loud slap. Say one more thing to the cops and I'll... Dennis, says Titus. I don't know who Dennis is. I don't remember who Dennis is. It must be Shanky. Stand down or I'll beat your head in. Theo, he points to the old man. Take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. The room falls quiet. So quiet you can hear Angus wheeze. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? And you sound like you're dying. That's Angus. Angie's. I left it home, he says. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. He grabs his chest. I'm sorry. I don't think he is actually dying. I think he might be having a panic attack, of course. I mean, if they're all shouting at him and punching him and whatnot. If he has asthma, that, well... asthma and panic attacks are a problem. But I don't have asthma. I do know people who have asthma, but I don't know them to get asthma attacks just from being nervous. I know you get asthma attacks if you exercise, or, well, it's not as clear-cut as that. You can exercise and have asthma. It's just that, you know, you probably know that better than me, because asthma is a thing that, honestly, here in Portugal, we don't have that much. From what I understand, like, countries like the US and just most of Europe has a lot more than what I've been able to observe. I don't know. Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Says Elizabeth. And it might be also constriction of the nose. If he's wheezing because he specifically says asthma. Asthma has nothing to do with being fat. Jesus Christ, Elizabeth. Seriously though, if his nasal veins are constricted because of lipid tissue, then that's also a thing. Although the inhaler might help. Oh, because he says the inhaler, but it might, yeah, the inhalers are not necessarily for asthma. Did he ever actually say asthma? I don't think so, because it's written in a weird way, and I would have made a mental comment about it in my head. Lizzie snaps at him. Now it's all pointless because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. He turns to him. Titus turns to Fat Angus, I suppose. I told you, just give her up. Lizzie, Titus says. He turns to the fixer. Your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Evracht. I don't... Is it a missing... What happened here? He turns to him. Who turns to him? Is it a typo for she turns to him? Because yeah. This might be a translation error? Is this game written in a different language? Or I thought it was written in English. I thought the writers are just not native speakers, but they wrote this in English. Although this is a typical, well, not necessarily typical, but this is a very easy mistake to make when you're translating just lines, because some languages don't include the pronoun, because the conjugation of the verb oftentimes, in a lot of languages, the conjugation of the verb itself will tell you who is doing, you know, like, for example, in Portuguese or in Spanish. Well, Spanish is a little bit less common, but it works the same. You can just say turns to him without the he, and the way the turns is written and the way the word it is, instead of just being, English only has turn and turns. I turn, you turn, he turns. You know what I mean? But a lot of other languages, especially Romance languages, have a different word for every one of those. I turn, and then you turn. Those two turns are different. You know what I mean? And that's why you can omit the pronoun. The thing about omitting the pronoun is that then it becomes very difficult for you to know if it's him or her or them or who the heck you're talking about. So when you're translating, you can make that mistake. But I think that's Elizabeth turning to Titus. And then Titus turns to the fixer, who is Elizabeth, and tells her to go to tell her Evracht. Evracht is not going to like me a lot more. He doesn't like me anyway, but anyway. She says, fine, I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast. She walks off without looking back. What just happened between these two? Says our suggestion. I actually didn't think it was that mysterious. Our rhetoric says, you're in. He's all yours. Questions. Oh, rhetoric. You are about to have a feast, maybe. Yeah, I thought it was obvious. No, not obvious. There's something that we haven't... There's something that we haven't... that we're not privy to right now. But the implication here is that they were indeed being manipulated. Don't forget that we started this whole thing off by actually succeeding at that check. about convincing them that they were being manipulated. So they were manipulated because of what Elizabeth says, all because you couldn't give her up. It's not, I'm paraphrasing there. Kim, we did it. I think Kim knows. That's not whisper. Your in is all yours. Questions. Although I'm sure that's very funny to say. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna risk it. If Clash didn't kill him, why the cover up? What do you mean if Clash didn't kill him? I'll ask this because I don't understand what that is. I am confused about that, by the way. It's them that should have killed him. You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. Yeah, I told you she's not what she seems. She's had special training for something shady. Oh, you meant that kind of training? Like a spy? He scratches his chin. Maybe. The kind of people who are after her, I guess she'd have to be. These people, who are they? They're powerful. He looks out the window. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid of her for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted anyway. That's all he knows, says our drama. That's all she told you. And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder, asks Kim. Why would I? He shrugs. I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. It is. But we're out of time for the day, so we're gonna continue this in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.